Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be learning how to solve one-step equations. To solve one-step equations, we're going to use inverse operations. That is, operations that undo each other, such as addition and subtraction, and multiplication and division. Let's look at example number 1. A plus 9 equals 5. To figure out my missing variable in this problem, I'm going to use the opposite of addition. So that is, I'm going to subtract. I draw a line down my equal sign so that I can split my equation, and whatever I do to one side of my equal sign, I have to do to the other. This keeps my equation balanced. It helps us find the true value of our variable. So positive 9 and negative 9 cancel out to be 0, and I'm left with A all by itself. And 5 minus 9 equals negative 4. To make sure that you solved your equation correctly, you can substitute it back into the original problem. So here where I see the letter A, I can write negative 4 plus 9 equals 5. I know my equation makes sense, so I did this correctly. Let's look at number 2. B plus 6 equals negative 14. I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. And the goal is for us to get B all by itself, so I want to get rid of my plus 6. I can use the opposite, which is to subtract 6 on both sides. Positive 6 and negative 6 cancel out to be 0, and I'm left with B all by itself. Negative 14 minus 6. I'm getting even further away from my 0 on the number line, so together these two numbers make negative 20. Number 3, C minus 6 equals 13. I'm going to use my inverse operations, so the opposite of subtraction is addition. I'm going to add 6 on both sides. And the way that you can tell that 6 is the number that's being moved is because we want to get C by itself. So we want to move any number that is next to our variable. So negative 6 or a minus 6 and a plus 6 will cancel out to become 0, and I'm left with C by itself. 13 plus 6 is equal to 19, so C equals 19. Number 4, D minus 5 equals negative 2. I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. Since we are working with subtraction, I'm going to add 5 on both sides. A minus 5 and a plus 5 cancel out, and I'm left with D all by itself. And I have a negative 2 and a positive 5. These are different signs, so that means my values are going to cancel each other out. And what I'm going to be left with is 3. My positive number is bigger, which means I have more positives than I have negatives, so my answer will be a positive 3. It's always good to get in the habit of checking your work. Let's practice solving one-step equations using the inverse multiplication and division. So number 5, -6 times m equals 48. So the inverse of multiplication is going to be division, so I'm going to divide both sides of my equal sign by -6. Again, my goal is to get m all by itself. -6 divided by -6 cancels out to be 1, so m is now alone. And 48 divided by -6 is equal to -8. I know that my answer is going to be a negative number because a positive divided by a negative will always be a negative. We can check our work. -6 times -8 is equal to 48. Number 6, -5 times n equals -45. I'm going to use the inverse of multiplication, which is to divide. I'm going to divide both sides of my equal sign by -5. -5 divided by -5 cancels out, and n is by itself. -45 divided by -5 is equal to a positive 9. Here, my rule is that a negative number divided by a negative number will equal a positive. Let's check our work. -5 times 9 does equal -45. For number 7, p divided by -2 equals -7. So if I'm given a division problem, whenever you see fractions, you can think of division. We're going to use multiplication to get p by itself. I'm going to multiply both sides of my equal sign by -2. -2 times -1/2 cancels out, and p is going to be all by itself. -7 times -2, they're both negatives, so my answer is going to be a positive 14. Let's check our work. 14 divided by -2 does equal a -7. Number 8, r divided by 3 equals -9. I'm going to multiply both sides of my equal sign times 3. 3 times 1/3 cancels. And -9 times +3 will equal -27. Make sure that you always check your work to make sure you're on the right track. Number 9, h plus 2 equals -5. I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides of my equal sign, and h is equal to -7. For j minus 9 is equal to -3. I'm going to add on both sides of my equal sign a +7. And j is equal to +4. 5 times k equals -10. I'm going to divide k is equal to -2. And last, v divided by 8 is equal to -2.